Hello, everyone. We are in a hazy day in Stone Falls. I'm gonna do some more of the Psijic line. Next line is to look at the map. So, these three areas, Stone Falls and Skyrim. First one will be out here. So we'll run out and grab some of the points. So it's always hazy out here because we're in volcano territory. It's very
Looks like a
rarely a clear
buyer's market
day.
around here, right? Gotta tell you, I see a lot of potential, mate. Lava front views, open floor plan, plenty of ventilation. Ah, it's a gold mine.
Got your back. You know what that's good for? Ah, you'll figure it out. You asked for it.
So these are over here. If you play Morrowind, there are these scribs like all over the place. And I had a mod in my game called Pet the Scribs. So I see one and I want to stop and pet it like a kitty.
And down they go. Building up a stash. Good thinking.
Okay. Thankfully, there are always a lot of people in Stone Falls. It's a quest hub, so lots of my guildmates are out here. I can teleport to within the zone pretty easily. Okay. Oh, it looks like there's an active dynamic event. Let's see. There are going to be so many people. Okay, yeah. Here we go. Oh, and we're like right at the end. There's just one fight left.
They better not have hurt my granny!
I haven't lost myself like that in years. I'm sorry for scaring you, my brave granddaughter.
Granny, you're alive! I thought you'd been eaten!
Thank you for returning me to my senses. I hope this
That's
makes
gotta be
up for
worth
your
some good
trouble.
coin.
And not anything I want. Oh well. Okay, so we're headed east.
What a view!
Dynamic events.
Aside from the coral over there. Be glad your silly face holes can't smell colors. Oh, that orange. Smells like old fags fill out of an ogre's bottom. Let's find this breach, eh?
Graphic.
Better overstocked than under.
I think I remember this. There's a pit. To go down into the pit. Am I gonna die if I fall? Well, we'll find out. Oh, it's up top. I never learn.
Let's move!
Bad place to try to head up. Pepquama! Oh, such a pain in the ass.
Well, it sure is something. Now what?
Oh, what a pain in my ass. Okay. Oh, oh, Shulk, come on. Oh, Nick sound. Alright. Come on. Yes, this can be frustrating. To get up and over without falling. There we go. Into the pit. I don't want to ride. I don't want to be riding my horse straight up there, because good lord. No, I don't have a hunger. Leave me alone. Now I'm stuck in a... shouldn't be stuck there. Wow, me and my horse are now stuck. And there is absolutely nothing I can do about it, huh? Alright. Well. Hmm. That's crazy. Alright. We're headed back to a random spot in the Stone Falls. Because I can't get out of that tiny little dip. Alright, let's find that frustrating spot again. Okay. Don't get stuck. Don't get stuck. Don't go too far. Don't fall it in. Okay. It's a cool view. I'm afraid the description of the orange coral makes it less cool. And more viscerally stinky. Vex antlers. It's probably code for something terrible. Judging by all things Vivek.
Definitely a breach nearby. And ooh, that's a rowdy one. This place is tense, eh? Might have something to do with the mountains strangling each other. Who's to say?
Always worth stocking up.
Okay, the next place. So they say Stone Falls, East March, and the Rift. So East March is next.
Wait, that's
So
not
I'm-
how it goes. It's probable, not laudable.
What? That doesn't even make sense. What's probable? That I'm going to get drunk? That's a given
Now
fact.
I'm confused. I think I need more mead.
But getting drunk isn't laudable. You should be able to hold your meat a lot better
Shut
than
up,
Bellin.
Bellin. Now my head hurts. I don't like this song anymore.
Come on, help us out
Let's
here.
sing something
We have
else.
deadlines to meet.
You know the rules. No one's allowed inside.
They're
with
all
Rip.
the same.
Here, I
Even
don't
all the
see
helmets
Meh.
they get on.
It's kind of funny. And Nords. And I realize I'm a bit of a hypocrite. Sometimes I'm like, why does it have to be so
Preach
violent?
home, mate. While you look, I will regale you with a hilarious joke. What do you call a ligosmotic dreamwave on its birthday? A vent swaddle. Get it? A vent swaddle. Ah, never mind.
Yeah. Why does it always have to be so? Why can't we have cookies? Why can't we feed cats? Why can't we have something non-violent? Then you give me something non-violent and I go, I'm bored. It's something different, non-violent. Yeah.
That will teach them not to cross us.
Oh, I get it, event swaddle. Oh my God, I never
Good
thought
eye.
of that. Wow. Yeah, he doesn't believe me. Oh, this is unfortunate. I'm sorry for what I'm about to do.
Greetings, Walker. Rabamak has many spotless goods. You will come and look, yes?
Hand over your gold, or I'll beat you with your own
Mother
tail.
always said this one was a kitten-headed fool. Here, take everything. Just let this one go.
So, you don't actually get anything. You get a little experience, but yeah, the achievement series there is called Crime Pays. So you just intimidate merchants. You don't actually get anything except, you know, pissed off merchants, some shame, and that stuff not showing up on your map anymore. So, worth it. What? Why am I going there? Did I just go there? I probably just went there. Okay, where's the other one? Okay, so
Why do
here
you
we
hate us more?
mostly
Your own king
follow
declares
the
us
water.
allies, but still, you turn us away.
Don't put words in my mouth, Dark
Follow
Elf.
the water
I
which
said
way?
you could enter Fort Armor, but the inn is full, so you can't stay. Official business of the kingdom takes precedence after
Fort Almol is actually a destination in Skyrim. It's a ruin. By then,
You could craft something nice with that.
I am so confused where I'm going. Where am going? Okay. East then south. That I can do.
Be careful around here, mate. This breach is surrounded by trolls. They're a lot smarter than you think. They're banging rocks together now, sure, but once they start wearing pants, woo! Look out.
So you're saying I should invest in troll pants?
That jingle of coins, always a comfort. You
I'd
could
really
brew
like to
something
just
nice with that.
bribe Sharp. Please just pretend to like me. Can we just, please? Kind of
Let's
hurting my
ride.
feelings, man. Okay, I think I'm going to do a little bit of this. I'm not going to go straight through because I think they're going to send me straight back out to do 9 more. So we'll go start the Assassin's Guild and then break that up a little bit. It is entertaining, but and again, I have done this multiple times.
Grab a drink.
Okay.
Can we make a snow thing? Snow person? Whatever? You know, if you make it right, it develops a sad little soul. Of course it melts later. Bit of a shame that, but we can name it and everything.
Okay, what's in my large stolen shipment? Did I get anything good? Did I get any stolen? No, nothing that I can improve. Damn you, thieves' trove.
Been on the lookout for that.
So we'll go be murderers. Alright, I think the others are in the rift, did it say? East, yeah, the rift. Okay. Rift is also good for me for travel because even if there isn't a person there, which there is right now, I have a home very close to a shrine. So yeah, if you see the Riften home right here, Old Mistvale Manor is very close to the Riften Way Shrine, so. And I have 1, 2, 3 homes in the zone, and I've learned most of the sites. Okay. Head north for this one. Go to my house. One of my houses. Autumn's Gate.
This stream's a pleasant enough place for a breach. Just watch out for beavers, eh? Sure, they look friendly enough, but they're just little waddling balls of hatred. Seriously.
Let's move.
They're all gone. Help!
Oh. I started going before. Yeah, that was dumb. Let's not do that again. I believe one of these is kind of cool. It would be as though you were headed to High Hrothgar in Skyrim. So it should be near Iverstead. Oh well, we'll get to it. Not, yes, not the one north, but the one we're headed to is closer to Kynes Grove. Don't know what's going on, don't want to get involved. Averting my eyes from the suffering.
So, Staff of Towers, eh? Lots of peril there, mate. I've got to admit, though, I'm very excited to see how it turns out. I'd say, oh, what, 60% chance I'm old inside out? We'll see.
Should have been more prepared.
Yeah, I like that spell, man. Isn't that nice?
Don't just stand there.
It's my unwitting tool.
Good to
Return
get
to my realm and serve me.
So tempting.
Wretched mortals. Worms.
anything good. Can't even hear myself think here.
Okay. Where is the other time rift? Yeah, there it is. Okay, yeah. So this should be Iverstead. Yeah, Gearman's Hall, Iverstead. I kind of like that. That's cool. So a lot of these places are places in Skyrim. It's just that they're active now and they're not ruins. Gearman's Hall is one of them. It's a dungeon in Skyrim's time.
Another breach up ahead, mate. Uh-oh. I see many, many stairs in our future. Well, your future. No legs, remember? But don't worry, I'll be right behind you. Doing very little.
Okay, so these, this would be the beginning of the steps to High Hrothgar. The 7,000 steps. With, you know, trolls, like there always are. So you can't go all the way, but this is essentially the base of High Hrothgar. Crow and Raven, 3 short fables. Crow and Raven were watching Cormorant dive for fish. Wish I could dive, said Crow. I like to eat fish. What? Said Raven. Are you saying Cormorant can do something that you cannot? That's absurd. You're twice the bird Cormorant is. You're right, said Crow, and he dove deep into the water. Half a minute later he thrashed his way back to the surface. Raven stood nearby. Raven, gasped Crow, why did you say that I nearly drowned? Raven shrugged and said, I like to eat birds. Crow and Raven were watching Morning Dove take a bath in a shallow pool. I believe I shall take a bath as well, said Crow. He flew down, splashed about in the pool, and then flew back up next to Raven. That's better, said Crow. Why is that? Said Raven. Your feathers and your beak and your eyes are just as black as before. True, said Crow, but when I flew down to the pool it startled Morning Dove and she flew to her nest. Now I know where it is. Eggs for lunch, said Raven. Crow and Raven sat in the tree above the roadside, above a drover snoring in a drunken stupor. Crow cocked his head and said, That sleeping person has a shiny pin on his shirt. It's an award, said Raven. He got it for drinking ale. You drink the rest of the ale in his mug, you'll get a shiny pin too. Shiny pin, said Crow. He flew down the table, drank the rest of the ale, and then fell over and couldn't get up. Raven flew down and plucked the pin from the drover's shirt. Shiny pin, she said, and flew off. Okay. Frostheart Blossom. Yeah, I don't really want to pick this up right now because I don't want to carry around that quest until I get to the rift, because it's going to be a while.
Ah, greetings, Initiate. You arrived not a moment too soon. I assume that Josarja gave you a summary of our predicament.
Predicament?
The Staff of Towers has returned. I was skeptical at first, but there is no longer any room for doubt. Josarja made the discovery, an exemplary feat of arcane inquiry. I find myself filled with a mentor's pride, and no small measure of dread.
Why is the Staff of Towers so frightened?
A teachable moment. As a member of the Psijic Order, you must know that great power always walks hand in hand with great peril. Even in the hands of a right master, an artifact like this can churn up untold horrors. Truth be told, it already has.
What are you talking about?
Misuse of the staff led to something called a dragon break in the First Era. A catastrophic disruption of linear time that lasted the better part of 1,000 years. Trust me when I say that is something we cannot afford to repeat. The threats we face are grave indeed. Fortunately, The old ways always provide wisdom in the face of uncertainty, patience in the face of turmoil, and of course, strength in the face of danger. Take this, initiate, and my thanks. Now our work begins in earnest. The Staff of Towers must be recovered. Shall we begin?
Yes, where do I start?
The staff comprises 8 pieces, one for each of Nirn's girding towers. Whatever force drew the staff back to Tamriel scattered these pieces across the continent. We managed to scry the locations of 4 of them. The others elude us. For now.
All right, where are these 4 pieces?
Helen Graveyard in Bangorai, Lecky's Blade in Alakir, the Great Hist in Shadowfen, and the Fang Spires in Deshan. Once you arrive at a breach, activate the auger and it should light a path to the artifacts. Josaja can tell you more. Safe travels.
All right, I'll go speak with Josaja.
You spoke to the lore master, right? You should be setting out for Tamriel. What brings you?
Lore Master Kellerus asked me to speak with you.
Checking on me, no doubt. I'm fine, really. The lore master and I had a brief disagreement, but it's fine. I'm sure he's right. I just needed a moment to think on it.
He's right about what?
The Staff of Towers. I discovered that each piece emits a unique temporal wave, almost like an artist's signature. I ran to the lore master to show him. Nearly tripped over my robe on the way. I thought he'd be proud, but he just went pale.
He said he was proud of you. He just thinks the staff is too dangerous to wield.
I know, but just between the 2 of us, don't you think we could put an item like that to good use? Imagine being able to shift time to avoid the plane meld or cure the Nahatan flu before it took hold. It's worth at least discussing, right?
No, the lore master's right. Staff is dangerous.
Yes. Yes, I guess you're right. It's just that when things happen to you, to your family, things you can't fix, the power to set things right can be very tempting. Anyway, I've talked enough. Don't worry about me. Just find those fragments.
Kellerus told me that the auger will light a path to the fragments. What does that mean?
Ah, right. Finding these pieces of the staff will require a bit more legwork. As I said, each of the fragments emits a unique temporal wave, but the point of origin remains hidden. We were only able to locate points where those waves crash.
So I'm looking for these places where the waves wash up? More breaches?
Exactly. Once you find a breach, you can use the auger to track the waves back to their source, the staff fragment. The trail should manifest as a series of lights. Just follow the lights and you'll find what we're looking for.
Okay, so we're gonna go murder some innocents instead. So, Anvil is in the Gold Coast. It is a smaller area. Here's Anvil, here's Kavach. They were both areas in Oblivion that you could play, and here is the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary. But for now, it'll begin out here at the Anvil Lighthouse before we go to the Sanctuary, if I recall correctly. It's one of those places I don't actually have a home. I think one is available, but it was either too expensive or too far out of the way to be of interest to me. Because if they are too far out of the way and I can't get myself to a way shrine easily, that's kind of a waste of time and money. Okay, so Gold Coast, and I'm going to bookmark that. So we're going to be here for a little while. So we will do the Anvil storyline at the same time that we do this, so we'll be moving back between the two areas. So, first step is go kill someone. I might already have the Blade of Woe, which is pretty much an assassination insta-death tool. If I sneak up behind someone and use it, there's a pretty horrible little animation, and they're dead. I don't have to go into regular combat. Oh. No, I do have to kill them. Alright. Wow. Oh, I have murder innocence turned off, I imagine. Okay. Which is the way I would like to play, but right now I need to be able to okay. Prevent attacking innocents. Oh, it is off. Why can't I kill you? Huh?
That was surprisingly inept. Must be it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm used to being able to use the Blade of Woe. So, counterfeit pardon edict. Look, I'm all good again. Search for Emily Crow near the Anvil Docks. So they did make Anvil look quite a bit like it did in Oblivion.
You there! Wait for a moment, if you would. Pardon the interruption. I've been looking for you.
Can I help you with something?
Not me. But I have something for you. A letter. Confidential. Private. I have it here somewhere. Ah, yes. Here it is. Interesting. I'm also supposed to extend a verbal invitation to visit the lighthouse. Odd that they didn't just put that in the letter.
The lighthouse?
Yes, the Anvil Lighthouse, just up the way. The sender ordered me to direct you there after I handed over the letter. I'm glad I found you. After looking for the woman with the eye patch all day, I figured I was in for a late night.
The woman with the eye patch.
Emily Crow? Do you know her? I gave her a letter right there on the Anvil docks. I have no idea where she went in such a hurry, but she seemed excited to receive it. Anyway, I have more deliveries to make before I can rest for the day. Farewell. The gods keep you.
So, if I believe the letter should just be mysterious letter. It should just be a handprint saying we know or something like that. There we go. The Butcher of Bravil. I've been called a lot of things during my career. I have received accolades from my friends and allies, been branded with curses and other foul descriptors about my enemies, but no title has been more hurtful and undeserved than the one I carry with me now, the one I'll most likely carry with me to my grave. They call me the Butcher of Bravil. The war in Cyrodiil was in full swing when suddenly a new danger appeared to threaten Imperial City. My soldiers were enjoying a much-deserved break from battle when chains fell from the sky. Some claimed one of the alliances had called upon strange and deadly magic to harass Imperial City, while others were sure that that one Daedric prince or another was behind this latest indignation. For my part, I did not care if it was Queen Iran or Molag Bal. I just knew I had to get the soldiers under my charge away from there as quickly as possible. The goal before me was simple. Survive, not die trying to defend the Imperial City from an enemy we didn't understand. It was to live, to fight another day when victory was more assured. Some call me coward for running as I did, but I saved a full legion worth of soldiers with my actions. Of course, fleeing from the city as quickly as we did, we were ill prepared for surviving in the wilds beyond the city. We needed to regroup, resupply, and determine a prudent course of action. With those things in mind, I ordered my legion to head south and away from the city. Brayville is a squalid little town south of the Imperial City, located on the banks of the Niben Bay. To say that Brayville is a poor town is an understatement. This is true, and it also smells bad if you've been there for oblivion. The people there would be happy to be risen to that economic level. They lived in wooden shacks, stacked one atop the other like skeevers in a burrow. They didn't have much, but what they did have was desperately needed by me and my legion. It was their duty to aid us for the welfare and glory of the Empire. I explained that quite succinctly to Brayville's mayor, and Brayville's mayor graciously refused my request. The food stores we have, pitiful though they may be, are vital to the survival of Brayville and its people, he explained. Surely you understand why I must say no, Captain, and humbly ask that you and your soldiers move on. To say that the man infuriated me is like saying that the Scald King is only a slightly drunk fool. But I understood his dilemma. If I took the town's food supply, he'd have to watch as half his citizens slowly died of starvation as the cold of winter settled over the town and the surrounding area. The solution was simple, though it grieved me to give the order. My soldiers would have to eliminate half the town's population. That would give the remaining citizens a chance to scrounge up enough food to make it through the winter. Here I thought I was helping these pathetic creatures, but did they thank us? No. The rest of the town rose up against us. In the end, we were forced to slaughter a good deal more than half, including the mayor, who I hold responsible for this entire situation. We gathered up the supplies, as well as a number of valuable items to help finance our efforts, and took our leave of Brayville. It was a few days later when we approached another small settlement that I discovered the word of what happened in Brayville had begun to spread. The story had grown all out of proportion. They were calling me the Butcher of Brayville, regarding me as a sort of villain who went out of her way to kill innocent civilians. They know nothing about war and the hard decisions that a commander must make in the field. Would they rather my soldiers starved? How would we protect them and defend Cyrodiil then? It also came to my attention that Queen Irene has sent one of her damned eyes to track me down, recover the items we acquired, and make me pay for my so-called war crime. I sent the bulk of my legion back to rendezvous with the rest of the army outside the Imperial City. Meanwhile, I took a small squad and made for the Gold Coast. I'd face the Queen's Eye in a place of my own choosing. Then we'll see whose justice actually prevails. So the Queen's Eye is Razamdar. Who we met in Somerset and saw, I believe, in the lead up to Cold Harbor. We'll meet them more when we go do the Dominion side of things. Love that guy.
I never noticed places like this when I was on my own.
Exposing a terrible evil. I've had it up to here with the rogues and hoodlums that have turned our once great city of Kvatch into a cesspool of crime and depravity. And do you know who the worst of the bad bunch happens to be? It's not the smugglers or the bandits or the pirates. It's that nest of vipers, that cult of secrets pretending to be a legitimate business. Oh, some of you have heard whispers and some of you know the legends, but only I have learned the whole gory truth. And now I plan to expose these brutal fanatics to the bright light of day. Dark Brotherhood, prepare to be revealed as the cowardly murderers you really are. I discovered this unfinished letter among my brother's papers, along with a journal full of evidence, anecdotes, and idle speculation about the supposed religious ascetics who sell their dark talents to the highest bidder. While I can't prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt, there's no uncertainty in my own mind about the fate of my brother. He didn't die from eating a rotten red mushroom stew. No. He was brutally assassinated by those degenerate cultists who follow the whispers of the night. Oh dear, first my brother-in-law, now my husband. Who knew the men in their family were so fragile, so prone to dying at an early age? But maybe there's more to what happened to the two brothers than the obvious conclusion. we're supposed to believe the two virile and healthy men in the prime of their lives simply keeled over and died while working at their writing tables? I've studied the letter they both began to write, reviewing the damning journal with its tales of murder for hire and dark rituals conducted in the dead of night. I've read it all, and there's only one conclusion I can come to. My husband and his brother died of natural causes. There's no such thing as a cult of paid killers operating the Gold Coast, and anyone who tells you differently will probably wind up just like my beloved husband and his no-account brother. So to anyone who might read this, I'm burning the journal and putting all of this murder nonsense behind me. Just the same, I probably won't be eating any red mushroom stew for the foreseeable future. So one thing that's interesting about Speaker Tyrannus, the voice actor, I don't recall his name, pushed for some unique animations for his character, which you can see he's flipping that coin between his fingers. So he is a unique character that was helped to be developed by the voice actor. I thought that was cool.
Come closer and let me look into your eyes. No remorse, no mercy. Yes, you do have the eyes of a killer. How many lives ended looking into those eyes? Enough that the Night Mother has noticed, obviously. Which brings us both to this place and time.
There's a running joke about remaining silent, so whenever given the opportunity, it's just kind of a thing. I remain silent. And in here, they even have an NPC who's works with the Thieves Guild whose name is Remains Silent, and she's a vendor and she never talks. I love that.
Nothing to say? I can appreciate that. I am a speaker for the Dark Brotherhood. I speak with the voice of the Night Mother. We have been watching you. You can deal death, but you lack purpose. We can change that, if you are willing. Silence is the music of Sithis, so perhaps you will serve us well. But first we need to determine if you are worthy to join the Dark Brotherhood. You take lives easily enough, and we know that you can kill. Now show us that you can also obey. Splendid. We shall see how well you marry business with death. But first, allow me to present you with a gift. I shall teach you how to call upon a particular tool of our trade. I grant you access to the Blade of Woe, sharper than any other dagger you have at your disposal. It shall be your weapon, just as silence is your armor. Wield the blade from the shadows and let its edge send your prey to Sithis.
I accept your gift.
In return, I expect only unwavering loyalty and ruthless efficiency. Now, let us discuss the task before you. A killing that shall form a covenant between us, signed in blood. The Imperial noble, Lord Quintus Gerol, has been marked for death by the Black Sacrament. Your task is simple. Find Gerol and kill him.
Why has he been marked for death?
That isn't a question we ask. Suffice to say, he offended someone enough to get them to perform the Black Sacrament. The Night Mother heard the prayer, and now Gerol must die. This is the task I have set before you.
I'll kill Lord Quintus Gerol.
Excellent. The noble's estate can be found northwest of Anvil along the Gold Road. How you perform the execution is up to you. Just make sure Lord Quintus Gerol dies by your hand. Then your initiation into the Dark Brotherhood will be complete.
Who's the Night Mother?
Our unholy matron and the one true bride of Sithis. We are her children, forever wrapped in her cold, loving embrace.
So the Night Mother is your leader?
There will be time enough for more questions after you complete the task before you. Just know that she watches you. She loves you. as she loves all her children. Do not disappoint her.
What's the Black Sacrament?
The Black Sacrament is the ritual by which a client procures the Dark Brotherhood's services. Using an effigy of the intended victim, the client pleads for the Night Mother to send an assassin to end the specified life. With no remorse, no regret.
So the Dark Brotherhood is a group of paid assassins.
To put it simply, yes. The lives of the innocent and the guilty alike are ours for the taking, and every soul goes to Sithis, as long as the price is paid. Death is our craft, our religion, and our trade. And business, as always, is good.
Any words of wisdom before I set out to murder the noble?
The wise traveler asks for directions before the path diverges. Never hesitate to rely on your fellow Brotherhood members once you complete your initiation. I assume you want to know what awaits you at the noble's estate?
I suppose that's as good a place to start as any.
Killing requires few special skills, but reaching your target? That's the real task, isn't it? High walls, locked gates, and armed patrols protect the estate. There is another way to reach the estate grounds, if you're interested.
I'm interested.
A series of smuggler tunnels runs beneath the withered rose and leads directly to the estate's courtyard. That's the route I would take. And don't forget to bring lockpicks. Gerol is a cautious man. He never leaves a door unlocked behind him.
What's the Withered Rose?
The Withered Rose? A small hostel outside the city. Our lovely mother and daughter own the place, but they've had trouble making ends meet. The smuggler tunnels provide them with an alternate source of income, and they're perfect for your needs.
Okay, so the Blade of Woe will show up once I am behind someone and sneaking. I will now have the chance to pickpocket them or to use the Blade of Woe to kill them. That will only work on pretty much innocent NPCs, not something that you would otherwise try to kill. So the lore of the Night Mother has evolved through the games. This is before any of the games. It wasn't really developed in Arena or Daggerfall terribly. It was just getting its start, at least in Vardenfell. In Morrowind, the Oblivion line is amazing, and it's one of my favorite storylines. I'm not really not sure how well that has survived the test of time, but I'll be finding out because I'm redoing an Oblivion remastered version, so I'll find out. But that is my favorite storyline. Skyrim, it just gets sketchy in non-fun ways. But the Night Mother is established as a real being. She is real. So essentially, someone does the Black Sacrament, and by Skyrim there was no Night Mother or Listener for reasons, and basically they just, you know, went by people blabbing that they'd run it, and they found out.
This place draws the weak-willed like moths to a flame. Leave. This cave poses a danger to those with weak wills.
What kind of danger are you talking about?
The very worst kind. A vampire lord roams these caves. Zelado revealed her presence in Anvil when she captured 2 innocents. I tracked the cat to these caves. If she has tasted the blood of these innocents, my blade shall taste hers.
Sounds like you could use some help.
Zalado is no mere vampire. She is a lord with the power to enslave weak minds. Aid me if you wish, but know this. If you succumb to her charms, you will suffer the same fate as she. Now, let's go find the people she kidnapped.
I'm right behind you.
Let the hunt begin.
Oh, it's a delve, but it's a big one. Okay.
You good? Of course you are. Stay ready. Never know what else might be headed our way. Let's see what you're made of. Someone left this here?
So we read
It's
the bit
yours
about the
now.
Queen's Eye, Raz Umdar. We will be meeting them in this zone.
Do your worst. I grow weary of you.
And
Zalado has been destroyed.
yeah.
Meet me at the entrance to these caverns. Once you're certain all of the vampire's victims have been accounted for.
We will be meeting him, and this zone with Razumdar has one of my all-time favorite quests. It's called the Sweet Roll Killer. Just quests like that are just make me keep coming back and back to the game to do it again, because it cracks me up every single time. Alright, I'm gonna go kill the boss. And head back to the beginning.
Better luck next time. Oh, wait.
Okay, head back to the beginning, turn it in. So Razumdar is an unusual character. There are several characters where you face a point of actually getting them killed, or killing them, or choosing to kill them. Like Lyris.
Let's knock some heads.
And if you kill her, they don't really care. They're just going to bring her back and pretend it never happened. Which is fine. That's more Jennifer Hale, and I'm cool with that. And I'm always cool with more Razumdar. But there's actually a... I was very surprised, because there is a quest in, I believe, Reaper's March, where you have the option to sacrifice Razumdar. In fact, he's angry with you if you don't. And I wouldn't. And he's mad at you for not letting him die. And, but then he shows up later in Somerset no matter what. So, there are some canonically dead characters that will not stay that way. I don't know why they did it that way. Except, you know, in Jennifer Hale's case, they're just very, very good at voice actors. And they want to keep them around. And that's fine. But there are lots of voice actors in the world. If you kill one of them, they should probably stay dead. And at the beginning, they did a lot of high-profile actors to do a bunch of the parts, and then pretty much ever since, they're just sticking with the same roster, who are still good voice actors, but not like Hollywood stars kind of thing.
I am glad to admit I was wrong about you. Your will is as strong as any hunter I have ever fought beside. Thank you for helping me defeat Zalado. And thank you for putting her victims out of their misery.
Does this mean Anvil is safe now?
From the Vampire Lord? Yes, but these are turbulent times. Other threats endanger Anvil and the Gold Coast, some even worse than Zalado. Remain vigilant, Hunter. Perhaps we shall meet again.
Oh, let me go pick up honest work. I believe that's getting two people a real job. I think we already met them in Cold Harbor. They are the brother and sister. Yeah.
We'll find gainful employment, Kirith. We just need to keep looking.
We helped them in Cold Harbor.
You don't know how glad I am to see a friendly face. You probably won't believe this.
No.
But Kirith and I are in trouble. Again.
No.
We could really use your help.
It can't be that bad. Tell me what happened.
An unpleasant ship captain dropped us off without so much as a by your leave. He was supposed to take us to Hammerfell to explore a dwarven ruin. We're scholars of some renown, you know. Although my sister prefers the term dungeon delvers.
Why didn't he honor your agreement?
I'm not sure. The language of the sea confuses me. We just need to charter a ship to Sentinel. But that disagreeable captain took the last of our gold. We want to work, but no one will hire us. Perhaps you could serve as our agent in this matter.
I'll see if I can find you some honest work.
Ah, finally a turn of good fortune. I imagine you'll have no problem convincing these ignorant clods to hire us forthwith. Honestly, I'm overqualified for most of the work available here, but I'll do whatever is necessary to get us to Sentinel.
If you were bound for Hammerfell, how did you end up in Anvil?
Hammerfell? Anvil? Why does everything in this part of the world sound like it belongs in a smithy? Look, it was an honest mistake on my part. The captain claimed to be a proper sailor, and I took him at his word.
So the ship's captain sailed you to the wrong port?
I'm an artificer. If you ask me to recalibrate a dwarven power core, I'll ask you to what voltage. But determining where the captain made an error in his navigational calculations? You might as well ask me to charm the wings off a harpy.
Any idea who might be interested in hiring you?
My letter of introduction opens doors throughout Morrowind. But in this isolated hamlet, I inquired with a blacksmith, but he wanted brawn, not brains. There was also the angler, but we were unable to agree on terms.
Must be someone interested in your particular talents.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? The Anvil Repository has a reputation for serving its clients poorly. I offered my skills as a bookkeeper, but the proprietor rejected me. If she reconsiders, I'd make a valuable addition to her team.
I could charter a ship for you.
We're dungeon delvers, not paupers. Kirith and I won't accept charity, no matter how you present it to us. We'll earn our own way. Just find someone who's willing to hire us, and let us do some honest work.
Let's just do what we came here for, and get out of here.
Investigator Vale, Shadow Fellows. So we will be encountering Investigator Vale later? Or the author of Investigator Vale. This was no run-of-the-mill murder, Baroness, Investigator Vale said, as she rose and stepped back from the body. No, this was an assassination. The work of the Shadow Fellowship. Or I'm a Morrowind mushroom. I'd stake my reputation on that. The Shadow Fellowship! Baroness Esmonda exclaimed, raising a dainty hand to her full red lips. The League of Assassins! That's just a myth! Despite her protestations, the Baroness suddenly went pale and looked around nervously. Oh, the Shadow Fellowship is quite real, Vale said, slipping off her leather gloves and returning them to the pocket of her long coat. They've operated in secret for hundreds of years. Whenever someone gets too close to the truth, they employ bribery, blackmail, and murder to keep their activities hidden. I've made a study of the clandestine organization. Covertly, of course. But I've never had a case that so clearly points to their involvement. Doesn't that frighten you? The Baroness asked. I would completely understand if you decided to abandon the investigation. My dear Baroness, I have never abandoned an investigation in my life. And I'm not about to start now, Vale said indignantly. I just need to determine how best to proceed. That night, in a richly appointed room above the town's inn, Investigator Vale slept fitfully after talking to dozens of people and following up on a half-dozen leads. Dark dreams troubled her rest, causing Vale to toss and turn in the small bed. Suddenly Vale sat up, letting the sheet fall away from her body as she drew out the dagger she always kept under her pillow. She pointed it squarely at the dark form sitting in the room's only chair. The figure snapped her fingers, and the candle beside the bed ignited with a spark. It helped a little, but mostly it just threw more shadows around the room. You're from the Fellowship, I presume? Vale asked. Let's not apply any labels, shall we? The woman said. Her face was still obscured by shadows and a mass of long dark hair, but Vale could see she was dressed in tight leather and wore at least 3 blades that the investigator could readily spot. Have you come to murder me in my sleep? Vale asked, her own blade never wavering. Neither I nor my associates have any desire to see the great Investigator Vale come to harm, the leather-clad woman said. There's no profit in that. We have one more contract to complete, and then we'll fade away like dew in the morning sun. The Baroness! Vale exclaimed. You are as perceptive as we've heard, the woman said, but sometimes even perception arrives too late to change the inevitable. The woman rose and stepped to the room's single window. Enjoy the rest of your evening, Investigator, she said with a slight bow before slipping into the night. Investigator Vale did not sleep the rest of that long, dark night. In the morning, Vale returned to the Baroness's manor house to find that the town guard was already at the scene. She approached the captain, an older man she had worked with in the past, and nodded a grim greeting. The Baroness is dead, Vale said. It wasn't a question. The captain of the guard nodded. Fell down the steps in the night and broke her neck, he said. Must have been the grief over her husband's murder that made her careless. Such a shame, but there's no way to stop an accident like that. Yes, Vale agreed, but there will be a reckoning. And with that, Investigator Vale turned and departed the manor house, already thinking of numerous ways to deal with the Shadow Fellowship. Someday, perhaps, she would take on these villains. But not today. Not today. Shadow Fellows. Huh?
Montclair bastards attacked the Shornhelm Guard at Hinault Farm. But I heard everything turned out fine.
Okay, let's get these fine young people some jobs.
Sorry. Between my brother's problems with the forge and that load of ingots that the puny Dark Elf dropped on the docks, I am way too busy to talk right now.
Puny Dark Elf? Do you mean Raynor Venus?
Yes, that was the Dark Elf's name. I gave him a fair chance, but I don't think he ever lifted anything heavier than a book in his entire life. We had to let him go. With the forge as it is, my brother can't pay a worker who can't do the job.
Raynor's been known to tinker with things. Why not hire him to make your forge more efficient?
If the Dark Elf can improve the forge, that would be a big help. But we still need those ingots. They were stolen after he abandoned the crate. The thieves use a dock outside the city. Get the ingots back, and I'll give Raynor another chance.
All right.
What?
I'm desperate.
Yeah!
Here we go!
I'm down on my luck. Help me out?
You look strong and sober. Want a job? The rowdy Gua skirted a hurricane off Kanathi's roost. Oddest thing, just came out of nowhere and we took some damage. I need someone who can hold a board and hammer a nail, preferably at the same time.
Thanks for the offer, but I've got a better idea. I know a Dark Elf carpenter who needs a job.
Really? Wait a moment. You're talking about Kirith, aren't you? She's the worst carpenter to ever heft a hammer, and that includes the drunk ones. I had to pay someone to fix what she repaired. She did more damage to my ship than the storm.
Never mind, I'll inquire elsewhere. You said they wouldn't accept charity, so I don't want to do that to them. They should have their dignity. To the Trader of Saintsport. I know that was you in the crowd at Enric's last night, Medric. You may have changed your hair and your fine clothes, but you can't hide that scar on your chin or the missing fingers on your right hand. I know where you slid off to now, and I know it was your crew that did Lennox back in Port Hunding. He was my best mate for 20 years, in case you forgot about that while you were making him sing. I'm leaving this note as a courtesy, so you can get your affairs in order. You have 3 days to make your peace and say your goodbyes to whatever sorry excuse for friends you've gathered in this rat hole of a port.
You know, I found a crate full of bones, a shriveled up heart, and a knife under his bed.
After that, I'm
Mercy.
coming for you.
What's he doing with all that?
Wouldn't say. Just told me I'd find out soon enough, and scampered out like a dark-tailed skeever. Kids, am I right?
Make no mistake, you're leaving this world. If you don't put up a fuss, I'll make it quick, which is a damn sight better than you gave Lennox. If you run, then our next meeting will be very different. Once I catch you, I'll make it last a very long time. If the waiting grows too hard for you, you pig-faced coward, I won't object if you do yourself in before your days are up. Your method, your choice, but know this, I'll absolutely make sure afterward. Remember, Medric, I'm watching you. You know as well as Lennox did that I can track better than anyone. You might make it out of Anvil, but you won't make it away from me. You're done living. See you in 3 days. Ooh. It's scary.
An entire day's catch lost to the hungry sea. So many wasted fish. Jode punishes me for expecting a spoiled dark elf to perform the work of an honest Khajiit.
Spoiled dark elf? Are you talking about Rain or Venus?
Oh, you know the big-brained dark elf with claws as dull as dirt? The one whose idea of mending a net is to tie a knot and hope for the best? If you seek payment, you will find only disappointment. Raynor is no angler. He is a liar and a cheat.
Never mind, I'll inquire elsewhere. Morrowind needs you. Come to the island of Vardenfell in Morrowind to bask in the presence of the living gods of the Tribunal, and experience all the wonders that dwell in the shadow of Red Mountain. From Vivec City to Sadrith Mora, the Ashlands to Azura's coast, the land of the Dark Elven overflows with exciting adventure and endless opportunity. Need more incentive? The priests of the Tribunal seek able-bodied adventurers to offer assistance with a number of growing problems, including Daedra-infested ancestral tombs, Ashlander raiders, and ancient ruins overrun with evil cultists. See a navigator today and set sail for adventure. Morrowind needs you. Okay, where are the stolen ingots? Well, the ingots are over there. Okay. Alright, I shall inquire at the bank. No, where's the bank?
Keeping myself busy here.
On Minotaurs. By Nonus Copernicus, temporarily unaffiliated scholar of imperial antiquities. No matter how many institutions of higher education expel me, no matter how many publishers decline to print and distribute my theories, I refuse to recant my position or change the topic of my research, not until Minotaurs have received the recognition and respect that they deserve. In the course of my research into the origins of the Empire, specifically the rise and fall of the Alessian Order, I came across a wondrous thing. Hidden in the background, often purposely obscured but still visible to those of us who know what to look for, was an entire race of humanoids who have been all but stricken from the historic record. So, Alessia had, who was the Minotaur? I can't think of it. I can't think of his name. Oh. Mora House. Yes. So yes, Mora House was a Minotaur. This crime against history must not stand, and I pledge to restore these creatures to their proper place in the chronicles of the Empire. I'm referring, of course, to the maligned and misunderstood Minotaur. These humanoids with bodies that resemble humans, with heads that resemble bulls, trace the lineage to Empress Alessia herself. While no period records survive to... Oh, was he a bull or a Minotaur? Oh, now I'm confused. While no period record survived to state the truth of the situation, many ancient documents from later periods speak of a relationship between the slave queen and Kinneret's son, Morahouse, the divine sent to aid and advise Alessia. Often depicted as a minotaur, the demigod Morahouse, I believe, gave rise to the race through his dalliances with the slave queen and the birth of her son, Balharza the Man-Bull. Whatever the truth regarding the origins of the Minotaurs, they begin to appear in greater and greater numbers in the years during and after Empress Alessia's reign. I contend that the early Minotaurs were as intelligent and cultured in their own way as any elf or orc or Khajiit, fiercely loyal to the Empire. The Minotaurs were among Empress Alessia's most devoted defenders. Certain art and tomes from the time hint as much, but many of my detractors want to know where the hard evidence is to back up my claims. Unfortunately, much of the evidence was destroyed in the intervening period when the misnamed Alessian Order held sway over the Empire. It was, after all, the Alessian Order that followed the rigorous Alessian doctrines. Of all the rules and regulations set forth in the 77 inflexible doctrines, the most notorious were those firmly opposed to the elves. I contend that the order wasn't restricted to anti-elven sentiment. I believe its resentful followers applied the doctrines to any non-human races they felt like persecuting, including the Minotaurs. One remaining fragment of an ancient tablet, known as the Balharza Stone, shows what most scholars agree is a section of a larger carving depicting Balharza the Man-Bull, second emperor of the Alessian Empire, facing down enemies. My own study of the fragment tells a very different story. By the cut of their armor and the shape of their spears, I believe the so-called enemies depicted in the carving are actually fanatical persecutors of Alessian troops. Spears, jabbed directly at the Minotaur's heart, indicate that these Proto-Alessians killed or drove off the Minotaurs, thus beginning the decline of the race that we see in evidence in the current day. It's a shame what happened to the once majestic race of bullmen. But wait, I can hear my detractors already. They demand more evidence. Evidence that I fear was wiped out, along with 100 other atrocities committed by the Alessian Order. But I do have one more fact to consider, and it's evident to anyone willing to travel to specific sites and watch the activity of the Minotaurs from a safe distance. If you happen to study the Minotaur in the wild, you'll find that they often congregate at or near ancient sites of significance to the Empire. Why? I contend it's because they have an instinctual memory of a time when they were fierce defenders of the fledgling empire. I contend that they are drawn to such sites, compelled to continue to defend them despite the actions of the Alessian Order that arose and all but destroyed these remarkable creatures. Oh, scoff if you must. Go ahead. I've suffered worse. But take a moment and at least consider what I've presented. Then ask yourself, why do the Minotaurs guard these ancient imperial sites? Maybe, in that question, you'll come to appreciate the Minotaurs. At least a little. Yeah? I don't know. Morehouse wasn't really all that smart. And it seems he was taken advantage of. Okay, I'm supposed to inquire at the bank. With whom do I inquire?
We run an honest bank here, believe you me. There's no safer place on the Gold Coast for your valuables than the Anvil Repository.
Hello? Hello? Well, this makes it difficult to inquire.
I wouldn't keep anything in this bank if I were you. The place has a reputation for sloppy bookkeeping, if I may be so bold. Alternatively, you can certainly do worse than one of my roomy storage satchels.
Okay. I can't seem to inquire at the bank. Found a book on bestiality, though. Oh, hello. I'm sorry I missed you before.
Oh, Izmir's beard. Those vile rumors will be the death of us. Don't the pirates know it takes constant attention to detail to keep a bank running smoothly?
Having trouble balancing your books? I know a dark elf who can help.
If you're talking about that skeever Raynor, then you can turn around and march right out of my office. That skinny dark elf had the audacity to tell me that my accounts weren't in order. I've seriously injured bigger men for lesser slights.
I'd be careful what you say about my friend Raynor. An honest bank would want an honest worker.
Ha! You've got mead in your blood, that's for sure. So you vouch for this little snowback? You really think he can make sense of this tangled mess? All right. What do I have to lose? The Dark Elf's got a job. My books can't possibly get any worse.
I'll send Raynor right over. Sorry I couldn't find you. There's a lot of weight behind you that kind of looks like... Yeah, okay.
Sibylla! We're running a bank, not a Bandari swap meet. These cobblestones look like they were dragged through a sick troll's dung.
I'm sorry, Your Grace, but these pirates' boots ain't exactly sanitary.
Oh,
The only P word we use here is privateer. And also profit. And occasionally paid off. But never pirate. Now find a way to clean this walkway or find yourself another job.
Okay, I need to inquire at the docks again, apparently. So I found a good job for... Let's see.
You look strong and sober. What? Really? Wait a moment. You're talking about Kirith, aren't you? She's the worst carpenter to ever have to hammer,
don't want to...
and that
Okay.
includes the drunk ones. I had to pay someone to fix what she repaired. She did more damage to my ship than the storm.
I don't have any other options. Interesting. Find a job. Okay, I don't really have any other options, do I? All right, that's a bummer.
You look strong and so... Really?
I'll pay you
wait
to
a
hire her
moment.
with enough extra to make it worth your while.
Kirith, aren't you?
Yeah.
She's the worst Let me get this straight. You're going to pay me to pay her? To fix my boat? That's crazy, and I know crazy. My first mate thinks he's a were-skeever. All right, send the Dark Elf to me. That's enough gold to redo her work and still make a profit.
It's always the same.
That's a bummer.
Day
I would
after
have
day.
liked to get them some honest work.
Yeah.
You know, like the quest says. But if I can't, is there a note? Note? Piece of paper?
Yeah.
Sometimes a little lie saves a ton.
Finest orc merchandise. Yeah.
You took your time. I was starting to get worried. But tell me, were you successful? Have you secured gainful employment for Kirith and myself?
I found jobs for both of you. You can start immediately.
Immediately? That seems rather sudden. Oh, very well. Kirith, did you hear? We can earn enough gold to continue our journey. It just required someone these depraved pirates could understand. Oh, I don't mean to imply that you're depraved,
Of course
my
not.
friend.
I spoke to Frunda. She's agreed to let you balance the bank's accounts.
Not the most exciting use of my talents. But tallying numbers beats hauling a load of metal ingots any day. Thank you for convincing the usurer to hire me. Even a single entry in the wrong column can spell disaster for a financial institution.
She can't wait for you to get to it.
All right. I'm ready to hear the news now. What kind of job did you sign me up for? Bodyguard? Spy for the Pact? Private chef for a visiting dignitary? Tell me, tell me, tell me!
Captain of the Rowdy Grower will pay you for patching her boat as long as you finish the job.
Really? More carpentry? Well, it's not the profession I would have chosen, but I'll do whatever it takes us to get to Sentinel. Thanks for representing us. Raynor isn't very good at negotiations, and I've been told I have a bit of a temper.
Good luck with the job.
You did more for us than anyone in this wretched city. Raynor and I will do our jobs and complete our contracts. Then it's off to Hammerfell. There are ruins to explore, adventures to partake in. I'm all tingly with anticipation.
Open for business.
Alright, one lovely thing about the Gold Coast, it's beautiful weather and what looks like olive trees. So we'll take a look at those in the lovely sky. And we will see you next time. Thank you for joining me.